Alright, welcome back again. It's getting old now, but I came up with something interesting here. They probably need to fix this because it seems a little bit backwards. So this build is a multi-shot build for paladin, and basically it plays identically to the way that you play Holy Bolt, right? So Holy Bolt, like once you have over 25 skills, it shoots 3, and basically you stand back and you're firing Holy Bolts off. So a couple things with Holy Bolt that are like a problem, right? Is that number one, you're like very weak in terms of like how much damage you can take because you don't have any life steal. Number two, you need faster cast rate, which is an expensive stat, and you need 125 of it on Pally to get to the cap. That takes a lot, so you have to kind of build around that. And third, it does pure magic damage. So if you come across anything that's immune to magic, you have to switch to like Fist of the Heavens, which is really shitty single target damage, and it's like boring. So yeah, like Holy Bolt's kind of lame. So this is interesting because I have the sheet damage up right now with Sanctuary, and of course Sanctuary applies your magic damage to your attacks. So if you're doing multi-shot, it's gonna add this 4.5k to each shot. So when you have like pretty much best gear in the game for Holy Bolt, your Holy Bolts are hitting for around 4,500, which is the same amount of damage this is doing. So that's interesting, right? You also get the aura tick on it, so stuff around you takes damage, which you don't get from Holy Bolt. And if I take Sanctuary off, you can see I'm doing, you know, a little bit of physical damage. 600 to 1500. That's not nothing. So yeah, this is kind of interesting. So let's look at the build. Whole thing works around this item. So this gives you the O skill multi-shot and guided shot. It's actually not a bad bow at all. It's got a couple good mods on it. It has ignores target defense, which basically means we're not going to miss. So with Holy Bolt, you don't miss, obviously, because it's a spell. So with ignores target defense, you're basically never missing. You're going to miss 5% of the time still, but that's whatever. It's got some deadly strike. The damage range is not terrible on it, and you can also slam this thing to get sockets or other helpful mods, or you can puzzle box it. So I put 2 shales in there to get to the attack speed cap. So I'm at 75. So there's one more level above this, but it takes like 130 or something. It's just not attainable. So and it doesn't really do much. So you're basically at attack speed cap with this. And then you need Pierce. So I've got 88 Pierce. You can get to 100 with using different gloves, but you don't really need it. 88's enough. So all the other gear is just like Pierce. So Giant Skull is like got a bunch of Pierce on it, obviously, and it has knockback, which is really helpful, and crushing blows. And again, to get to the increased attack speed cap, you need to put a 15% attack speed jewel in here. So you can either get a one-socketed Giant Skull, or you can puzzle box it. So it's not really that much money required. Other Pierce items are these boots. These are like free, basically. 20% Pierce. Razor Tail, which is not really that high in demand at all. It has, you know, Pierce. That's basically it. Bit of Dex. Yeah, that's it for the Pierce items. And then, of course, you want something that gives you Mana Steal, because nothing else in the build does. Otherwise, you're going to have to drink pots. So I went with these again, and they also have attack speed, which gets us to the 75 that we need to be at. So that's not bad. It also does the damage to undead, which is, again, still going to come into play here. And then the rest is just getting all skills, because Paladin skills doesn't work for multi-shot. You need all skills, so This is the part of the build that's expensive. You're gonna need Chains of Honor is probably the best one because it gives all skills and it adds to our physical damage and gives us life steal. And then you're gonna want a Stone of Jordan or a Bolkathos or a Wisp. Doesn't really matter on both. And then you're gonna want Amara's because it's just 2 doll skills. And all resist. You probably can switch this out for a Seraph's once you have like really good resistances and you don't need that last bit. Because Seraph's has 2 to all skills and also does the bonus damage to demons and undead, so that would be useful to do. And of course you need to get Cannot Be Frozen on these boots. Or the helm, I think you can get it, or the rings. Now the rings are going to be very expensive. Like, don't try to get a Cannot Be Frozen Saj. That's going to suck. Try to get on the boots or the helm, because it's probably not really a desired slam on the helm. So yeah, until you get that though, you got to use Raven Frost. And you'll see our multi-shot's level 11, and that's because we have the Annie as well. So get an Annie, they're not that expensive. And then you want all offensive aura skillers to increase this. Yeah, so we're doing 13 arrows, so that's fine. Nothing wrong with that, that's plenty. You also get guided shot. In case you didn't know, with Pierce, when you shoot a guided arrow, it can pierce and then it'll turn around and hit it again and keep doing that over and over. So for bosses, that's what you're going to use. And everything else, you're just going to use multi-shot. And it's like the same thing as my other build with Sanctuary. And instead of using Charge and Zeal as a way to like deliver the Sanctuary damage, you're just using multi-shot, which actually kind of feels better to me. It's a lot easier, and it seems to be more damage, even though the sheet damage is lower by like 2k. The fact that everything pierces and you attack so quickly is just like, I don't know, I'm really digging it. So I made this. This is a tier 1. So you can see 20% max health, and they have some life steal, so it's not like an amazing one for us. So let's use our bow and get one more skill in there, so that helps us out a bit. And here's the sheet damage, so 5k to 6k, and if we're turning Sanctuary off, our physical portion is this. And one last look here, you'll see we have Life Leech, Mana Leech, we have a bit of Crushing Blow, bit of Deadly Strike, enough Pierce to make sense. We're at the attack speed cap we want to be at. Full resistances. For stats, you get extra damage from Dex. So what I did was I got like around 1200 health, which is usually enough, and then I just dropped the rest of it in Dexterity. Make sure we have our Raven Frost on, and let's take a look at this because this is interesting to me. I didn't think it'd be this good, and you can see the spread on multi-shot is bigger than Holy Bolt. So like if you're in here Holy Bolting, you're hitting way less mobs than the multi-shot, and the multi-shot is in fact faster. So oh, this is not good. Got surrounded there. Yeah, so you still have to play like an Amazon, unfortunately, and run around. Let me just grab some pots. I didn't have any pots. Okay, and I'll just quickly make another map here. Bear with me for 1 sec.
Can I help you?
Yeah, okay, that looks fine. So let's try this again. Yeah, I don't like. Kind of speaks for itself. Everything is dying very quickly. So this is, I would say, like less tedious than the charge builds. And you do want to not get hit because you're not gonna have good hit recovery. So you still have to kind of be a chud and move around. And but I mean that's the same way you have to play Holy Bolt too. A little bit less so because you're wearing a shield, but this is like way more damage, way faster. This map's a bit weird for ranged because a lot of the map is like unpathable. So you can see right next to the staircase, you can't actually shoot arrows over it. Which is a good thing because you don't want mobs. Oh, I died again. Yeah, anyways, so yeah, it seems to be not bad. Like really not bad at all. Let's compare it to like an actual Sork, or not Sork. So I got Wind Force, you know, typical setup here. Let's just go to River of Flame. So you can see I've got, you know, max damage everything, multi-shot maxed. You know, I've got perfect pierce, 100% crit chance. So this is like, you know, this is like the Amazon. So things take like a bit to kill. I'm using Tyraels, which is like the standard one. Oh, I should probably summon my this guy. Do a little bit more damage now. So obviously you can do more damage if you get a whole bunch of jewels in your Wind Force. But that's not going to, it's going to probably add like 2,000 damage at the most. Less than, you know, you can do probably 30% more damage with the Wind Force. But okay, so you can see the kill speed here. It's it takes a bit to kill stuff. Like you gotta actually shoot him. These guys die pretty much instantly, but takes a little bit, right? So let's go back to the paladin. Same thing, River of Flame. So you can see we do more damage on the paladin. Sheet damage. These mob fiends, I'm killing them in like 3 hits now instead of like 6. Pretty much like the same, if not a little bit better. So yeah, that's kind of messed up. I don't like, either they need to buff Holy Bolt, because if you're doing Holy Bolt, I would just, there's no reason to not do this because it's cheaper and it's like just all around better. There's no reason to play Holy Bolt when you can do this. I don't know why you would, so. Now the charge, like melee setup for Sanctuary is like obviously more safe because you have the exile and you can block, so you don't have like hit recovery issues. Mind you, I have faster run walk ones, so you could get hit recovery GCs. Probably to deal with that issue. But, you know. So remember this kill speed, because I'm going to very quickly now respec to Holy Bolt, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So obviously we're just going to have to max all this stuff. There's no hotkey to like just dump the points in it, which kind of sucks, but yeah, it needs all this stuff. So like, interesting. Like obviously if you're playing Holy Bolt for like a team thing and you're healing, then yeah, okay, sure, go ahead and do that. But if you're solo farming, to me it just, I don't know. I don't see why you would ever want to do this over it. So Holy Bolt is, you know, let's find the items here. I think I had them from before. Okay, no. So it shouldn't take long. Well, you want this new armor for sure, because it's got that extra cast rate. Probably want these boots, because they have the cast rate too. There's no other really other options. For the helm, pretty sure you can just use a Shaco. Gloves, Mage Fists are fine, it's just faster cast rate. We're probably going to use the same stuff here. And then obviously we need a Herald of Zakram.
Impossible.
And then there's a scepter we need. The Redeemer, I think. Yeah, so what are we at in terms of, so we're at 90 cast rate. So it's one below the max one, so that's pretty much the same as the attack speed stuff. Oh, the belt, that's right. What am I doing? I need the arachnids. I can never see it because it's like invisible. There it is. Yeah, it's perfect arachnids. Okay. Oh, and you know what? I'll just throw on the. I'll just put on the GG shit because there's these things. Like I can go this thing, which is better than Mara's, and then the circlet. I can get the So yeah, so now we're way above the attack speed cap, but I mean, there's no other thing you'd really put in the glove slot anyways. So yeah, now we need P-combs. Last thing. Sorry about this, but so yeah, let's do this. Alright, got all the P-combs, all the skillers, so Holy Bolt, Fist of the Heavens you're going to use, and then basically you just keep Redemption on. Okay, so Holy Bolt damage. Level 50 Holy Bolt, that's really high. Like that's as high as you're going to get. It does 4,000 to 4.3, so yeah, that's literally almost exactly the same as the other thing. Let's even bullet. Let's see. Actually, let's just make a new map here. We're gonna go right back to Chaos and try it out. Okay. Yeah. Let's see how this is. So yeah, look at that. We're killing stuff pretty much instantly. But if you notice, the Holy Bolt spread is like very, very narrow. So when you come up to places like this, you have to like... And I know, of course, you can cast like this, but it doesn't hit everything, so... So in a spot like this, you have to, you know, take the extra time to like aim and hit the guys. With the other build, you don't. You just shoot. So it's doing more damage because of the shotgun, obviously. But okay, look, we're in a spot like this. And I have to tediously kind of like move around and aim. Whereas with the multi-shot, you just kind of shoot. You don't have to really think. I have to shoot these guys on this side. I have to move this way. I've played a lot of Holy Bolts, so like I know how to move around so that the enemies kind of run at you. But yeah, pretty much the same kill speed. But if we, you know, take into account the fact that this gear is extremely expensive, like this amulet and this helm would probably be like 10 HR alone combined. This thing is probably a lot. I don't know how much it goes for. Perfect Arachnids is like 2.5. These boots are probably a lot. Perfect Redeemers are like, you know, 1 HR. Herald is Acrum. Everything in here is like, I'd say it's like 2 to 3 times more expensive. And the difference is like very marginal. And in fact, you kind of have to like, it's just like, it's way more tedious. This video's going long now, but I guess if you want to do Holy Bolt, this is like the build too. You could probably do something better with these gloves, like, I don't know, magic's fine, but... Yeah, there's the build.